So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a wonderful Monday morning, and it's also the first Monday in the month of December. Welcome to the 12th month of the year. It's been a fantastic journey here from January to this point. It's been a fantastic trading journey. It's been a fantastic trading year. And I can tell you that it's a very, very wonderful time. We are really grateful. I'm grateful personally to the fact that we're here and we're looking at the last few days in the trading cycle of 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not over until it is over. We're still having some very good potential in the market, mostly with the interest rates cut coming up this month, December, from the FOMC meeting, and also from some of the volatilities we're going to be getting from the dollar based on what is happening around that news, around the interest rate news. Right now, every time Jerome Powell steps on the podium to speak, it's a time you want to really pay attention to right now. Anytime he speaks, anytime he comes on that podium to say whatever, it's a time you want to pay attention to. We are still seeing the dollar shut down. The US government is still on shutdown. There's a lot of things about I don't know if you have been following, but there's a lot of things about the Epstein file right now happening in the United States. Last week, we got a vote on the topic, and of course, right now it has been made official that the Epstein file should be open to the public. And if you don't know what that means, you need to go and do some research and understand what I'm talking about. All right. So, in summary, there's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of tension in the United States. There's a lot of tension in the government house, and this tension is also affecting Donald Trump to a level. So everything is really, 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 gearing towards a very big bang for the end of this year. A very, very big bang. So we're looking at the dollar ending with a big bang, guys. And if the dollar is going to be ending with a big bang, of course, it's going to be affecting everybody, from gold to currencies to commodities to indices to stocks. Everybody is going to be affected. Every instrument is going to be affected, and it's a very, very good time for you to actually pay attention and take advantage of that. Okay, so very quickly, let's look at some of the economic outlooks that we have for this week. Today is Monday. Around 2 a.m. this morning, we got the Bank of Japan government, Uda, speaking. So he spoke this morning. And then later in the afternoon today, we're going to be having ISM manufacturing PMI later today. And then tomorrow, there's no major news. There's no major economic outlook. And then by Wednesday, we're going to be having 1:30. We're going to be having Australian dollar GDP. By 8:30, we're going to be having Swiss franc CPI. Then by 2:15 p.m., we're going to be having the ADP non-farm employment change. And by 4 p.m., we're going to be having the ISM service PMI. Right? Moving to Thursday, by 2:30 in the afternoon, we're going to be having the unemployment claim coming all the way from the United States. And by Friday, which is the hot cake, which is the cherry on top of the whole cake, ending the year for 2025, we're going to be getting some massive. Okay. Oh, we don't have it this first Friday. That means we need to check. NFP is not being listed. Oh, I was thinking we're going to be having an NFP. So NFP is not being listed this Friday, guys. There's no NFP this Friday. That's very, very strange. All right. So it's this year, a lot of strange things have been happening, guys. A lot of strange things have been happening this year. From the data center having issues last week Friday or last week Thursday. I think it was Friday, where gold began to just move erratically. And moved very, very. There was a very erratic movement on gold last week Friday. I don't know how many of you noticed, but that was due to the CME data center that had an overheating with their system, down to a lot of other issues that we had the other time. We had a major server down for a major VPS also. So it's been a very, very unusual year. It's been a very unusual trading here. And like I used to tell people, for people who just started trading this year, you would think that is how it has always been. No, this year is just quite different. I don't know. This year is just quite different. Okay. And it's a major thing that we need to actually pay attention to. All right, so these are the news that we have for this week. On Friday, we're going to be having 2:30 unemployment change and unemployment rates from Canadian dollar Then by 4 p.m., we're going to be having core PCE, prelim U, University of Michigan consumer sentiments, prelim University of Michigan inflation expectation. We're going to be having all this on Friday. All right. On Friday. We use this prelim Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation data to be able to forecast what the unemployment rate and NFP is going to basically look like. All right. Sometimes we use this data to actually forecast what it's going to look like or give us an idea of what's going to look like. Now, moving to the market very fast, we don't have much time to spend. This is gold right now, guys. This is gold on 5 minutes, reacting to this trend line that I just drew on the 5 minutes time frame. But let us look at it from the 4 hours time frame. On the 4 hours time frame, gold has just actually broken this particular high. And we're looking at a retest and a push above that. So I know that the price of gold is still going to be pushing up today. So there's a very, very high possibility that we're going to be seeing a break of this structure. All right. So I don't want to pay. I would advise for us not to actually pay attention to this thing because I know that there might be a massive break of structure soon. Rather, what we should be paying attention to should be buying from this particular level here. Okay. So what I'm waiting for is for price to potentially push to the upside, and then price to come back down. All right. Either break this point or push back down. A push to the downside here would give me a very good entry for a buy on gold. All right. So right now the price is bullish, and I think price is still going to be very bullish. Though we know that this is the last high that price got to before going down. You can see what happened here, and then came back to this point, and then from here it has been pushing this at this point. It's pushing back to this point right now. So there are two things we need to look out for. Number one, if you are buying, there are two ways to buy on gold right now. If you're trading gold, please pay attention. If you're trading gold, pay attention. There are two ways to buy on gold. All right, there are two ways to buy on gold right now. So if you're trading gold, like I said, pay attention. The first way to buy is to wait for price to push down to 4245.86. 4245.86. You take your buy from there, your stop loss just below that point, very tight. Your first take profit is going to be at 4255.71 because that is the place that price has gotten to before now. That is the high that price got to before the price dropped. All right, 4245.86 is our entry price for the buy if we're using a buy limit. So if you're using a buy limit, you can go for the buy limit of 4245.86 buy limit points. Take profit is going to be at 4255.71. 4255.71. Stop loss just somewhere very tight, just somewhere below here. All right, that's first way to buy. This is the best way to go for the buy trade this morning. But the second way to enter this buy is actually just to wait for price to break here and close above, and then you take your buy, your stop loss here, and you can go for the 2. So my own suggestion is for us to actually go for the 2. If we see a push back to this downside here, then fine, we go for our buy at this point. We go for our buy at this point here. And if we see price pushing and closing above this particular point, we go for our buy here. So the thing is, this could be two ways, right? Price might not come back down, like you can see, it's already pushing up. There's a lot of volatility. And today being Monday, most times we get these volatilities like this. But if we see a push to the downside, fine, it makes it better. And if we don't see a push to the downside, we just wait for price to actually break above, and then we take our trade. So the two major price zones you want to pay attention to right now is 4255.71. A close above that is going to be giving you an opportunity for a buy. And then if price pushes back down to 4245.86, that is also going to be a very good point for you to actually look at your buy also. All right, 4245.86. Okay. Moving on, I want us to quickly look at USDJPY, and I want us to also look at EURUSD. Now, USDJPY has been on a major reversal trajectory on the 4-hour time frame. If price takes out this low right now, we're going to be officially in a downward trend. If price takes out this low on USDJPY right now, we're going to be on a downward trend. If price breaks and close above that low, below the low, all right, if price breaks and close below this, we're going to officially be on a downward trend. It means price has taken out the swing low. Price has taken out the swing low here. All right, so it's something that we want to pay attention to right now. This is a very major point, because why is this major? Let me tell you why it is major. The reason why it is major is because, number one, if price doesn't break this point right now, we're going to be seeing a massive push to the upside. All right. And the push is going to be in two ways. Price would likely push to this point. I think price is going to still push from here back up though, because I can still see some level of, so let's assume that price push back to this point, and then possibly there's two things that could happen when price push there. Price could actually come back down and then break this point to the downside, or price could potentially come back down and then from this down point break back to the upside. These are the two things that could happen. Okay, these are the two major things that could happen. So we could see a break of structure. So we could see a break of structure of this particular point, and then we could see a break of structure of this particular point. But where price is right now is it's a very critical zone where price is right now. But I know that if price is going to push up, there's more likely than not, we might be seeing a retest of this particular point here, this particular zone here, which is why I marked this point here. Anyway, this is on the 4-hour time frame. So if we go to the 5 minutes time frame to really begin to look at this properly and to really begin to pay attention to this particular level, you discover that on the 5 minutes time frame right now, this is massive actually. This is massive. So what are we waiting for? We're waiting for a major entry trigger. We're waiting for price to actually push above and then give us a bullish engulfing or a pin bar. So a bullish engulfing or a pin bar is going to give us some very, very good entry price for a buy or for a sell. So we need to actually wait to see what price is going to do around that particular zone, to see what's going to happen around that point. So we're already seeing a rejection back to the upside right now. So let's see if price is going to push back up. Let me check this on the 15 minutes time frame. So on the 15 minutes time frame, this is looking good. This is looking good on the 15 minutes time frame. This is looking good. So we want to wait for price to actually close, and then we look at what price is going to do. Now, basically, left to me, I would have actually, because this is actually going to be very tight. Let's assume that I'm taking my stop loss here, for example, and I'm taking my first profits at this zone here. Now, this could take me out, but this is a very good calculated risk if you look at it. This is very, very good. And we can see that was this is a doji, or more like an evening star, which it signifies or indicates indecision in the market, which means this zone is actually standing. Even if we're going to be seeing a break of this zone eventually, I still expect some level of struggle. I still expect price to actually push back to the upside a little bit before we should see a proper break of structure of this particular point. But just to be sure, I just want to be sure, let's quickly do something just to be sure. So we're looking at USDJPY, and I want us to take a decision, but I want to check the currency power of dollar to JPY and ACN. All right, so if you look at this currency pair right now, you discover that Japanese yen is actually much stronger in terms of currency power to the dollar. All right, so this is the dollar. We have 2.7. Japanese yen is about 9.9. So this tells me that we might continue to see a push to the downside, which means entering right now for a buy might not be the best option. Might not be the best option until we see a major pushback. It's already attempting to break that point. So entering right now for a buy might not be the best option. So what do? We wait for opportunities to sell if price actually breaks and close below that particular zone, which has already been marked. So if price closes below this right now, we'll take our sell. Our stop loss is likely going to be around here for that sell. And our take profit is going to be just below. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame to actually mark out. I can't even see it here. So our take profit likely is going to be around this particular point. It's just looking like a swing trade though. So it's gonna take some time for price to get in. But let's see what it does. It's already pushing massively on the 5 minutes time frame. I can already see the push. So it's already struggling to close below. Once this candle closes below in the next 3 minutes, we should be able to take our trade and we should be able to see what price does after here. So we're just waiting. So while we're waiting for this to actually actualize, gold is still pushing. It's not coming down yet and it's not going up. It's just still pushing around that particular point and it's pushing up. But let's quickly check GBPUSD. So we have looked at gold. We're waiting for USDJPY in the next 3 minutes to see what's going to do. While we're waiting for that, let's quickly do GBPUSD. So I'm just doing dollar, major currency pairs with dollar this morning. And I'm doing currency pairs majorly because I want us to actually take advantage of today being Monday and some of the things that are already happening around dollar pairs. All right, so Great British Pounds has actually been giving us a very, very, very great levels of indecision since last week. This was Thursday, this was Friday, this is today. And these three candles, what they have in common is that all of them are indecision candles. They are very indecisive. Anytime you see candles like this, these are called doji candles, right? We say these are levels of indecision. So we are waiting for a major breakout of these levels, a major breakout of this level. So we can see that some people will call this a cup and handle, even though it's not really fully formed, but most likely than not, when you see structures like this, we're expecting a bullish run. We eventually would begin to see some level of bullish momentum in the market, most likely than not, most of the times, all right? So what we are looking at right now is two major levels, which is this particular point here. Though we could use a trend line, but let me just go for a fixed level. And then I know that this is another major level that we're also looking at. So price could actually push above, break above, and keep going, or price could push below, break below, and keep going down. But most likely than not, like I said, we're expecting price to actually push above and then keep going up. Okay. But right now, like ladies and gentlemen, I think what we can do right now is we can look for opportunities around this particular point right now. This is on the 1 hour time frame. We can look for opportunities around this particular point right now. So the two major zones that we're paying attention to is at 1.32081. And then we're also looking at 1.32598. Two zones, 1.32081, 1.32598. These are the two major zones that we're looking at. So we are going to be pushing this a little bit up to be able to mark that zone properly. If price, I'm expecting price to actually push down. While we're waiting for this, please let's go and check USDJPY. Okay, so USDJPY didn't close below, guys. It didn't close below. It's still struggling around that point. But with what I'm seeing right now, there's a high possibility that this thing is going to actually break this point and close below. But we need to be sure, so we keep waiting. We need to be sure. So maybe in the next 5 minutes, we check back. All right, so we have this pushing also. So what we can do here, guys, is to have a sell limit. I mean, a buy limit. We can have a buy limit for GBPUSD and look at what price will do after that point. So for GBPUSD, let's go for a buy limit because we can't be waiting for this to actually happen. So let's go for a buy limit, GBPUSD buy limit. If you don't know what a buy limit is, it's a pending order. Our entry is going to be at 1.32113. Our SL is going to be around here, 1.32052. Then TP is going to be at, I think we should target this point since there was a gap down here. So 1.32375. 375. price might reverse from that point. The price pushes down. So buy limits on GBPUSD, you can set it. It's looking very good for price to push back up. I'm just hoping that the price comes down before pushing to the upside. Okay. For USDJPY, we keep waiting. For USD for gold. Okay, so I'm already seeing a hanging man on gold right now. This is looking very bullish. This tells me that price is going to be breaking this point soon. So gold, you can also have a buy stop on gold above 4255.71. Buy stop above 4255.71. Your stop loss for this trade could be around just below this structure here, around 4250.01. 4250.01. That could be the stop loss for the trade. 4250.01. 4250.01 could be the stop loss for that trade. Okay. Let's look at USDJPY very fast. And that would be our last instrument for today. Okay, so before we look at USDJPY, look at what gold is doing, guys. I mean, USDJPY. Look at what USDJPY is doing. We're looking at a bullish, this is looking very bullish. Looking at a bullish engulfing pattern. Though, because of what I've seen in the currency meter, I'm not still confident enough to take this trade. So if you look at this, this is still not looking, even though dollar is beginning to gain some level of strength, we're already seeing dollar moving from 2.7 to 5.2. Japanese yen is still much, much higher in currency power than that, than what the dollar is looking like. But so I'm not still very confident for a buy trade yet. So if we're going to be going for a buy trade, I think we need to wait to see price actually break 155.467. A break above 155.467 should give us a confirmation for a buy. But for now, I think selling USDJPY will be the best option, looking for opportunities to sell when price actually goes and breaks below this point eventually. So let's look at USDJPY lastly. I mean, EURUSD lastly. I don't know why I keep saying USDJPY. Okay, so EURUSD has been very, very bullish as well. This is on the 4-hour time frame. We've been seeing this massive push to the upside, higher highs, higher lows, to the upside. And I think the target is actually at 1.16477. Price is pushing massively to actually that point. But where price is right now, also it's reacting from a minor level of resistance, which is I think this is going to be our high currently. So it's trying to break this high to give us a higher high, which simply means that price would likely be pushing back from this point, and then it's going to be pushing above this particular point. So on the 15 minutes time frame, if I look at this, I already see the inverted hammer on the 15 minutes time frame. Look at what price is already doing. An inverted hammer here, which means that, of course, like I said, price would likely begin to push down. So if I'm to mark this out on the 1-hour time frame, I know that there's a high possibility that price is going to be pushing possibly back to these levels. So we need to actually begin to pay attention to, just give me a minute. All right, so let's go to the 5 minutes time frame. So on the 5 minutes time frame, we can already see what's going on right now. Price is already being rejected at that particular point. I'm expecting a pushback to these zones, either of these two zones. We could really use a. So what I want to do is I want to give us a buy limit for this also, but I'm going to be using a Fibonacci retracement tool to mark this. Let's take it back to this swing low. Okay. Sorry, please give me a minute. All right, so based on what I'm seeing right now, price has actually come back to retest these particular zones. And we are already seeing a push above this particular point right now, which means most likely than not, we might see price eventually break this point, which we know that's going to happen. But I'm also expecting some level of pushback, some level of retracement back to the 61.8, back to the 61.8 level. So what I want to do is I want to mark out that 61.8 level and use that potentially for our buy limits, and then our stop loss is just going to be below this 100.0, just around this point. Our stop loss is going to be around here. So even if we take out this 1:1, we are still going to be in profits. So yes, assume we're taking our trade at 1.16207. This is still going to be a 1:1 trade, and it's still going to be profitable. But we are not going to be taking our take profits there. Well, our take profits is actually going to be higher than that. We're taking our profits at the major zone on the 4 hour. We're taking our take profit from this particular zone. So what you want to do on this trade is you want to quickly pay attention to it. Once price actually gets to this, gets to that particular zone, gets to this first point. Once price pushes back down here right now, take our buy limits, and then if price gets here, you want to actually break even on this trade by moving your stop loss from this point to where you entered. And then if price doesn't give us the opportunity to come down, if you're watching it, you can actually take your trade if price closes above this particular point, above 1.6207. You want to take your buy trade above that point, because right now we're looking for buy opportunities. But the price pushes back down to this point, fine. But if it doesn't, please take your trade above this particular point, above 1.16207. So let me just quickly give us the entry price for EURUSD. EURUSD buy limits. Our entry is at 1.16118. TP is at so our first TP for a 1:1 is at 1.16207, and then our SL is going to be at 1.16045. 1.16045. Okay, so it's already pushing down. It's already pushing down. I still expect it to come down, at least back to the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement points. So we're waiting for this to actually happen. So guys, we've taken EURUSD, we've taken USDJPY. USDJPY, my God. Yeah. It's actually very bullish right now. So a close above this should be able to give us a very good entry point for a buy, a close above this. But like I said, I believe these are all just major reversals. Although let's not forget that we're actually moving down towards New York section right now too. So don't forget that. So most likely than not, we might see some level of strength actually coming. But this is a major spike on the 5-minute time frame. Just two candles has covered up what this whole thing has done. Just these two candles has covered up everything. Pay attention so that you don't miss out. So you don't miss out of this. This is like a scalp trade, so don't miss out of it. If price actually, and remember on USDJPY on the 4-hour time frame, where it is right now, it's a very major point. You can see it's a major point. But I still believe that this is still a sell though. So if you want to buy, you want to buy for a short period of time. You want to enter, come out, don't really stay for too long, and you want to stay close above this before you take your trade, and then maybe your stop loss below here. But most likely than not, we might see price eventually breaking this particular point today. All right, so if we see a close above this structure right now, a very good close can signal a buy, because this is really spiking, and then stop loss is just below this 155.467, and then your take profit can be at 155.826. So you can just screen grab this so that you don't miss out. Okay, I have some questions from Mr. Uzop. Please, what do you mean by SLR? Which of the instruments should I check? Which of the instruments? Chisom is asking, what is the spread on US 100? Okay, we're going to check it together, Chisom. We're going to check the spread together. So, Mr. Uzop, which of the instruments? Please let me know. All right, so US 100, that's NASDAQ. Okay. The stop loss, buy limit, stop loss is at 1.16. 0.45. Our trade has been triggered, guys. The trade has been triggered. Buy limit Euro USD is triggered already. Our stop loss is at 1.16045. Take profit is at 1.16207. If you have not taken the trade, you can just enter immediately now. You can enter instantly right now. Because if you use the pending order, it will have been triggered by now. So if you have not taken the trade, you can enter instantly now. All right. So lastly, the question on what's it called? Spread. Let's just discuss on spread. US100 is NASDAQ. NASUSD is it? NASUSD. Our spread on NASUSD is 2.3 pips. 2.3 pips. Very, very, very slim. All right, 2.3 pips. That's very slim on an index, on a major index like this. Very, very slim. So when you're trading, you can just trade with confidence. Any other question before we call it a day? I hope we've actually taken all our trades. Euro USD is we're already in the trade. USDJPY is still not looking like what we want. Okay. Gold is already giving us a very good entry for a buy now, because I can see that price has pushed back to the downside, rejecting this particular point here. And there is a break of structure right now, so we need to pay attention and we need to be careful. But I know that price would likely push to the upside. So what I would likely do is the problem is the next zone. If price breaks this zone, there's a problem, because if price breaks here, the next point is here, right? So that's going to be massive. So what I want to wait to see is I want to wait to see price pushing back above this point and breaking that zone back to the upside before I can confirm my entry for a buy. So right now, we want to see price actually pushing above 4245.86. 4245.86 before we can actually confirm this. Okay, so wait on gold to actually break above here before we can actually confirm a buy. Now, what else? I think we've been able to check NASDAQ spread based on the question that was asked. And if you're trading NASDAQ, my advice is for you to actually look for buy opportunities on NASDAQ, because price is very, very bullish right now. We can see this. You can see this on 4 hours. You can see what price did, came back here, retest, and most likely than not, price is going back to that high, where it actually got to last week, which is around this point. So you want to pay attention to buy opportunities if you're trading NASDAQ. Pay attention to buy opportunities if you're trading NASDAQ. All right. If I was you, I would wait for price to actually close above this particular point. And then my stop loss is just going to be below. If price closes above that point, my stop loss is just going to be way above here. This is 25325.1. Stop loss is going to be at 25295.8. So it close above here. I take my buy, my stop loss here. Take profits at 254.809. And I begin to adjust my stop loss as price begins to give me some very, very good ratio. So a 1-to-1 ratio should be around this point. I break even on that trade. Price comes back to retest and pushes away. I break even on the trade. And then I begin to just adjust my stop loss as price begins to go to the target. Once price hits my target, I'm out of the trade. So you want to pay attention to that if you are trading NASDAQ for today. All right, so guys, that concludes it. On Thursday, I'm going to be sharing something powerful. We're going to be having it on the YouTube Live on Thursday. We're going to be having YouTube Live on Thursday. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, please quickly go and do that. We are EBC Nigeria on YouTube, and trust me, it's something that you really enjoy. Class, I'm going to be talking about a major strategic class on how to be consistent in trading. We're going to be talking about trading plan, how to come up with a trading plan on Thursday, right, by 4 o'clock in the evening, Nigerian time. I'm going to be seeing us on Wednesday also, when we're going to be also looking at the market again, trying to take advantage of the market. And we already created the YouTube community, the WhatsApp channel All right. Though we've not started posting signals there yet because we don't still have up to 100 people there. But this week we're going to be, bringing more people into the group so that we can have about 100 people there, and then we can begin to post signals and begin to post a lot of information there. On our Telegram, however, we have signals coming every day on our Telegram. If you're not part of our Telegram group too, please make sure you join the Telegram group. We have signals coming in daily on the Telegram group. All right, daily. Like today now, we've dropped signal this morning. Okay, on gold most of the times, majorly on gold and on stocks. All right. So I'm going to be seeing us on Wednesday. I want to say a very big thank you to everyone, Mr. Deleke, Isaac, Uzo, Chisom, Eddie Young, I see you. Thank you so very much for being in the house. Mr. Humphrey, I see you. Mrs. Itunoluwa, Fadimo, thank you so very much for being in the house. Mr. Jonathan, I see you. Mr. Mustafa Abdullahi, I see you. Thank you so very much for being in the house. Pauline, I see you. Mr. Gilbert, I see you. Mr. Victor King, thank you so very much for joining us this morning. By Wednesday, we're going to be moving. Let's make sure to pay attention to all our trades. Euro USD is still in trade. We are still, guys, USDJPY has given us an entry. If you're taking the trade, you can go for your buy. Like I said, let it be very short. Take profit is here, stop loss just below here. On gold, on the other hand, gold is looking as if it's going to be pushing down. So we are seeing this massive change of direction in the market, which also tells me that the dollar right now is becoming stronger. So just to confirm that, if you look at this right now, okay, so this is looking very strong because this is at 8.2. So we see this is at 8.2, beating the Japanese yen of 7.9. So dollar has gone from being very weak to being very strong right now. So, and that's why we're seeing a massive change in all of the structures. GBPUSD, on the other hand, has actually broken that particular structure that we say was going to break. And we can see that price actually struggling around this particular point right now on GBPUSD. So what you want to do is you want to wait for price to actually push. We're still waiting on this trade on GBPUSD. And then NASDAQ, like I said, it's a buy. You want to pay attention to the buy opportunities on NASDAQ USD. All right. So guys, thank you so very much. I'm going to be seeing us on Wednesday. Let's have a wonderful day. Thursday also, we're going to be meeting live on YouTube. And then from next week, Monday, based on our Thursday meeting on YouTube, from next week, Monday, we would likely be having these sections live on YouTube. All right. Let's have a wonderful day. God bless us all.